Hey everyone, I'll be covering all of the Nintendo Switch's games announced for the second week of September, so let's get started. A Tiny Tale intends to pay tribute to 3D platformers of old. Players can look forward to a heartfelt adventure with Buddy and Bag Boy, two tiny robots made of miscellaneous items. Along the way, they'll come across a variety of quirky characters as you collect cogs and items to help each one of the bots. You can collect cogs to unlock new chapters and take on the undergrounding challenges that are spread throughout the entire world. Embark on a grand journey to a fantastical unknown planet in this procedurally generated farm and crafting adventure in Kokopa's Atlas. You'll be hopping into the boots of a brave but clumsy Kokopa, a wannabe galactic hero just as his ship is crash landing on a strange and undocumented world. Everything is dynamic, so wherever you go, NPCs may be doing one thing or another and reacting accordingly if you're willing to help or bother them. You play as the Warden, a mysterious alchemist who needs to use their skills to protect the realm from the encroaching corruption. Craft, brew, boil, and concoct to protect the realm from the Serpent Rogue, who has laid down their roots in Mount Morbus, where from its seething corruption spreads and threatens to overwhelm the entire realm. It's your task as the Warden to confront it and restore the balance to the natural order of things. Prepare for cuteness overload, relentless training, and a fierce set of competition as you and your hamster tackle complex mazes. Navigate obstacles, test your agility, seek shortcuts, and be the first ones to reach the finish line for the ultimate reward, which is the yummiest treats. Hamster Maze is set to launch next spring. Kogan Sword of Rewind is a game that we've known that's been in development for quite a while, and recently we found out that it's finally set to launch on January 27th of next year. With that delay, we also know that Gunvolt DLC pack will be made available post-launch, as well as a physical release worldwide will also be provided by Limited Run Games and Gem Drops. According to the latest issue of Famitsu magazine, the Misanthropic Girl is currently being developed for the Nintendo Switch. This is a new collaboration bringing Hojo Games and Chorus Worldwide Games, which is aiming to change the way you see open world RPGs with a few distinct set of features. The alpha footage shown has shown some promise, and the developers are remaining hopeful that it goes all according to plan for a future release. Battle the colonial authorities in style with Tanto, Wave Sash, and fast-paced Kung Fu in tightly tuned technical combat. Execute advanced aerial combos, steal weapons from your enemies, and use your Wave Sash and grappling hook to fly around the battlefield, and even strike fear into the hearts of your oppressors. Take on incredible bosses and varying enemies when it launches on October 27th. Shadow Corridor originally launched in Japan late last year and is now finally being localized for the West for an October 26th release. Taking inspiration from its Japanese roots, this game is set in a world based on traditional locales. The game features a variety of maps, each generated randomly for each and every one playthrough. In addition, helpful items are also scattered throughout each one of the maps. Unmetal is a Metal Gear Solid inspired parody game where you play as Jesse Fox. Jesse must escape a bad situation using his dry wits, quick words, improvised skills, arsenals of warfare, violent explosives, MacGyver gadgets, and an elaborate explanation on how it all went down. And if all else fails, he'll use his fists. Seamlessly blending both the arcade action of games like Streets of Rage with the strategical thinking of titles like Plants vs. Zombies, Last Friend quickly becomes a battle of man and canine standing stalwart against the end of the world, as players drive back the violent mutants and gangs of the apocalypse in a fun, fast-paced hybrid brawler and tower defense title. Last year, NES America revealed that Pretty Presents NES Collection Volume 1, and this year we're getting the second offering that's set to launch two exclusive classics, Makai Kingdom, which originally launched on the PlayStation 2 all the way back in 2005, and CHP Unloosing Rangers vs. Dark Death Evilman, which released on the PSP back in 2010. Trapped in a golf purgatory after lightning strikes you stop in your tracks as you're going to take the winning shot in the acclaimed golf tournament, unfortunately there's no mulligans in life, so to lift the curse and ascend back to the land of the living, you'll have to play through 18 dungeon-like golf holes in the purgatory. Cursed to Golf is set to launch next year. Set off on a delightful expedition and use your photographic eye to uncover the mysteries of the magical tome in this hand-drawn adventure game. Chat with quirky characters and solve their problems by snapping neat photos and make your way through the relaxing landscape. Tome, a photo adventure, is set to launch on Switch on September 17th. Kami-sama no Yona Kimi originally launched on the PC as an ecchi visual novel last year, but recently Antigram and Cube teamed up to bring it over to consoles, including the Nintendo Switch, offering new story routes, reworked visuals by the famous Kantoku artist. Inspired by arcade beat-em-ups of the late 80s and the early 90s, Fallen City Brawl is a story of ambition and revenge told through intense side-scrolling pixel art action. Huge sprites and animated backgrounds breathe life into the dying city streets, while fighting mechanics offer uncommon depth with destructive combos, counters, air throws, grappling, parries, and special moves, and even riot supers. Take on the roles of Nadeshiko and Rin and enjoy a branching story where the camp's content change in a big way based on your choices, with a what-if scenario not depicted in the TV anime. This is a game that laid-back camp fans will not want to miss. The developers are calling this visual novel an extension to the first season of the show to get to know each one of the characters a little bit better. Bo and Aoi are graduating university and preparing to leave their flat that they lived in together for over a year. Thanks to visa limitations, Aoi is forced to return to Japan, leaving Bo in England, disillusioned by the post-educational life and being shoved aside by a government who doesn't necessarily seem to care about either one of them. Both are trying to come to terms with their uncertain futures when No Longer Home launches on October 7th. Bittersweet Birthday is a unique mix of challenging, half-bullet hell combat and half-adventure exploration game where every encounter is a unique fight, all on the stunning pixel art canvas. Players need to uncover the silent protagonist's mysterious original story, guided only by a strange voice from nowhere and quirky companions inhabiting the unknown world. After a global catastrophe, the remains of the human civilization built a new religious society among the ruins. They've forgotten the light of the sun itself and are now blinding and following a brand new god. Every few years, he comes down and takes away the chosen newborns to the world hidden beneath the gates of the sanctuary. Your job is to get that kid back at all cost. Terraformers is a 3x game with roguelike elements in which you'll be terraforming Mars. Explore the planet's wonders by exploiting its resources and expanding into settling new cities. Start the terraforming process by warming the planet, creating oceans, and then spreading life itself. The rules are the same as 1981. Shoot the centipedes as they descend into the playing field and contend around to shot block and path-altering mushrooms they leave behind. New to Centipede Recharge are power-ups dropped by the spiders themselves, such as explosive bullets, spread shots, and even a devastating railgun. Make difficult choices on security, economy, diplomacy, and much more. Even outside the office, your values and beliefs will be challenged in Suzerain, a strategic politics-infused game where you interact with a wide array of characters with different personalities and ideologies to make things work, and if they don't, the world might just implode. Join the Jack Sisters in a single-on multiplayer 2D open adventure. Take on a variety of platforming challenges and utilize your axe-tossing abilities to explore Jack's unique world. Witness the saga of a young woman breaking a taboo by arming herself and taking on a man's job despite the protestations of the gods themselves. Originally released on mobile devices, Social Soccer 21 is a bit of a hit, and now that it's coming to consoles, the developers are promising more refined and traditional controls on top of touch controls options and of course, better visuals to go alongside it. Labyrinth Legends offers players a satisfying dungeon crawling experience brought to life by retro-inspired pixel art graphics. This action-oriented combat uses simple yet satisfying gameplay mechanics that both new and veteran gamers can both enjoy. The Switch releases including brand new dungeons with new story elements, new classes, new co-op play, and more players than ever before. And that's what the Game announcers will be covering this week. There's still a lot of noise still buzzing regarding the potential Nintendo Direct for September, but it never really made any sense for Nintendo to go head-to-head with Sony, knowing that they would be hosting their very own presentation just this past week. If we're really gonna get a Direct this month, I would expect it to be closer to Tokyo Game Show on September 30th, so most likely within the next week or two. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!